Hey, how's it going, guys? I just wanted to do I guess just a quick vlog. I don't know how long this video will be, but I don't do these very often. But I thought it'd be cool just to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on, what I've been doing, what I've been playing. Um, I guess I'll just get to what I've been playing. Recently, I've been playing this Dragon Quest trilogy on the Switch. Um, I already finished Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Currently playing 3. I'm in the desert location of the game. I just explored that massive pyramid. Um, but yeah, Dragon Quest, for what it's worth, they're fun, I guess. I mean, the early entries are kind of a chore. They haven't exactly aged all too well. At least I don't think they have. They're still fun. They're still really good games. But if you're new to the franchise, try to go in with an open mind and try not to be too critical. These games came out in the late '80s, but I still think they're really valuable games in today's market. These are basically like a look back of what RPGs once were. We probably have had like too many quality of life changes since then, but it's nice to see where Dragon Quest started and where RPGs were before and where they are now. But yeah, I am currently playing Dragon Quest 3. Um, I am I think that's ISIS. That's what the town name was. But yeah, that's as far as I am right now. Um, Hopefully, when I'm done with this game, I can move on to something different. Because playing 3 Dragon Quest games in a row is it's really starting to burn me out. I also have the collection of mana. I'm not going to play Adventures of Mana. I it looks really dated for me. I usually try not to judge a game by appearances, but I'm just not a fan of playing Game Boy games. With the whole that like yellow and green color toner. It's all gray. Um, I would like to play the remakes of it, but I can't find it in myself to play Final Fantasy Adventure. Secret of Mana I have played. I played it twice. I played it on the Super Nintendo Classic, the Mini, and I also played it on the PS4, the remake, which I thought was okay. It was basically a one-for-one remake of the original. There are a few quality of life improvements in that remake, and maybe a few new additions. But for what it's worth, it's pretty much the same game, just newer and nicer looking. I know a lot of people didn't like it. It got a poor reception, but if you're curious, don't let that discourage you. Go play the PS4 remake. It's still really good. There is no online co-op. It's only a couch co-op, but still, it's a really good game, and it's a lot better than the Super Nintendo version. I think. In this, I'm only gonna play Trials of Mana, which I've never played before. Before it was just called Seiken Densetsu 3. But yeah, it's finally got an English localization, an official one. It had a fan translation by Neil something. I forgot what his last name was. But yeah, it got a fan translation sometime in the early 2000s, I think. But yeah, now finally Square Enix localized it themselves in this collection. It has Final Fantasy Adventures, or just Adventure of Mana, Secret of Mana, and Trials of Mana. So yeah, once I'm done playing Trials of Mana, I think I'm done with this collection as well. Um, but yeah, basically, Dragon Quest 3 is the last one in this trilogy right here. Uh, Trials of Mana is all I'm gonna play on this collection, and then of course I'm gonna replay it again when the remake comes out for the PS4 and Switch and Steam, I guess. Also, I got this sometime a while ago, but I haven't found time to play it. I hear this game is also kind of like Trials of Mana, sort of, where you get to pick your own party, and basically who you pick kind of is what kind of like leads you in what story path of progression you go through. But yeah, I've basically been on a bit of an RPG like craze right now. RPGs are fun. You get lost in a story, you get lost in the characters. It's a grand adventure. You go through forests, kingdoms, dungeons, temples, forests, deserts, whatever, right? And yeah, other RPGs that are coming out that I really want to play are Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I have it on the Wii, but I never did get very far. I only probably put in about 20 hours into that game, and I don't know why I just stopped playing it. I did beat Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think I have a video on that that still might be up. I beat that like the month it came out, which was pretty hard to do. but I did it somehow anyways, and that was the first Xenoblade game I actually like. Because Xenoblade Chronicles was fun. It wasn't too complicated, but man, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was hard. It was not an easy game at all. It's a great game, and I really recommend you play it. But yeah, I can't wait to play the definitive edition when that comes out sometime this year. And Bravely Default 2 is coming out sometime this year as well. I played Bravely Default, the first one on the 3DS when that came out, and I beat it. It took me like 80 hours to beat it. It was a pretty long game as well. But yeah, Bravely Second came out, and I bought the game, but I never finished it. I don't know what it was, because it just felt like an unnecessary sequel. Uh, like Bravely Default had like a bittersweet ending. Like it wasn't a super happy ending, but you know, for what it's worth, everybody in the party um, set out what they wanted to do, and at the same time, it just felt like everything wrapped up so well. I think, and Bravely Second just felt like a very unnecessary entry. I watched a recap of it on YouTube, and for what it's worth, it looks like a good continuation, and it looks like there might be a third entry to that one, judging by the ending, which I certainly hope doesn't happen, but you know, I guess it's fine. Um, Honestly, I feel like if you just want to play the first Bravely Default as standalone, you could. Bravely Second's just like added, it's just like an expansion of the first game, I suppose. I only played about 20 hours of that game, but I don't really know why I just stopped playing it. I just wasn't too interested in it. I mean, they brought back some characters from the previous entry, but again, it just felt out of place. I think. Maybe one day I'll play it. I doubt I will, but you know, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't, but I'd like to. I just don't have the time to do it. I just have so much stuff backlogged right now. Especially because Bravely Default 2 comes out, and I hear that's a completely new continent, new story, new characters, which is refreshing, honestly. I don't like it when they make sequels to RPGs, um, because it just feels like they're just unnecessary. Like Final Fantasy VI is my absolute favorite Final Fantasy game, and I'm glad it has a single entry. Same with Final Fantasy IX. I'm glad they didn't make a sequel to these games because they just don't need it. They don't they ended up so well that you know it's kind of up to the player to you know imagine what happens afterwards. I feel like in Final Fantasy VI they rebuild the continent after the destruction that happened, and if they remake it and they add a little bit of padding at the end to really show the reconstruction of the continent and all the damage that was done, that'd be great. But oh, again, sorry, I didn't mean to go off trail, but yeah, no, I guess RPGs that are coming out that are new that I'd like to play. I like to play Persona 5 Royal, Bravely Default 2, Trials of Mana, Xenoblade Chronicles, and hmm, no, I'm not sure what else is coming out. I don't keep up with a lot of like current events and gaming at least, or in anything really. Apparently, there's a plague that's going on right now. No, I'm aware of that, but yeah, in this time of crisis, you know, you gotta find something to do, something to distract you. But yeah, no, if you want to play, honestly, at least from these games that I'm recommending, I haven't played this game, but it looks really good. If you're not sure, look up gameplay on YouTube. It's just a really cool game. I bought this really because Romancing Saga 2 got a remake, and I wanted a physical copy, but I never got one. So I picked this up while it was still available, and one of these days I'll get around to it. This is basically what Octopath Traveler should have been, but just this is like a way better version of that. Same with Collections of Mana. If you want to play Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, go for it. If you want to play all three, go for it as well. This is also a really good collection. And the Dragon Quest trilogy, you know, where the series started, the Erdrick trilogy. If you're curious, these are pretty short. Dragon Quest 3 is maybe going to take a little longer than the other two. But for what they're worth, they're like pocket-sized RPGs. You could beat them pretty quick. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the quick little vlog, and you know, check out these games if you can, if you have time. Um, Go check out reviews, read Reddit posts, forums, whatever you can find, and make your own judgment on which game you'd like to play. If you like to play all three, you'd like to just play one, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.